In this video, we will show you how to create a robe style design. Our goal is to design a shape that, when repeated, will resemble the twisted strands of robe. Start by drawing a rectangle shape and set its width to 5 mm and its height to 9 mm. Right-click and from the appearing menu use the Convert it to Curves. Then skew it slightly. On the top part of the rectangle, convert the node on the obtuse angle to smooth. Do the same for the bottom part. Adjust the curves to make them more even. To give the impression of a twist, add an S curvature along the sides. Add two nodes on the sides, close to the cusp node, diametrically opposite, and convert them to auto-smooth. Move each node slightly towards the center of the shape using arrow keys along with the Shift key. In this way, the movement is precise, shifting only by 0.1 mm each time. To create the repetitive rope pattern, draw a line for the shape to follow. Make sure that the option Add New Objects as Clones is enabled in the Edit menu. While holding the Shift key down, select both the line and the base shape you created. Right-click, and from the appearing menu, use the Create Outline from Shapes option of the Array submenu. To make the items appear more slanted, go to the Outline menu and adjust the item rotation parameter. Set it to 20 degrees. Now, reduce the distance between the shapes by setting the spacing to -4 mm. To refine the final design and give it the exact look you want, edit the initial shape. Since all objects are clones, any adjustment to the original shape will automatically update the entire line. Using the shape you created after the transformation, you can apply the effect to other shapes as well. To create a robe with more flow, use the freehand shape from the Digitize tools. Draw a curved line to apply the array. Now start the node editor to refine the line. Delete any unnecessary nodes and convert the rest to auto-smooth for an organic movement. Create a duplicate of the initial shape. Remove the outline color and select it along with a curved line to create outline from shapes. This time, set the item rotation to 10 degrees since we're covering different inclinations and want to avoid large deviations. Now, let's find the appropriate spacing value. The -4 spacing we use for the straight line makes the design look too tight. Here we will decrease this value to -3.5. As you can see, all the changes you make to the outline properties values are automatically reviewed on the design, making it easy to find the best settings for each design. You can refine your design even further by separating it to objects. In that case, right-click to detach the shapes from clones so that any change won't affect the others. Use the node editor to adjust any specific parts as needed. Now, let's combine this robe style with a monogram to create a simple yet elegant nautical design. Start the lettering tool. Here we use font XPG 133 and font size 150.0. Type the initial you want in capital letters. Center the letter to the hoop. Select the letter. Set the fill to Applique. And choose the fixed satin from the fill properties. Apply a color of your choice to get a better preview of the final design. Go to the Tools menu to insert a clipboard. Select the Anchor 06 from the Clipboard library to complement the nautical theme. Press Insert and left-click to include the anchor in the design. Rotate it and move it to the bottom left corner of the monogram. Now, create a line that goes through the letter and the anchor. We will use this line to apply the rope style. Use the node editor to delete any unnecessary nodes and refine its shape. Insert the rope line we created earlier. Separate it to objects from the Properties menu. Scale it down slightly and ungroup it. To create a navy blue and white rope, keep only two shapes in the rope. Select them and remove the outline color. Keep one shape white as is and set a navy blue color for the second. Select the two shapes along with the line to apply the array. Right-click again and choose Create Outline from Shapes from the Array submenu. Adjust the spacing value until you achieve the desired look. Now, separate the shape to objects and right-click to detach them from clones. In this way, you can edit each repeated shape individually. Take your time to achieve a detailed, lifelike result with some flow. Set Remove Overlaps to Never for the rope line, since we don't want it to interfere with the applique fill. To make some parts of the rope appear behind the other shapes of the composition, ungroup the rope line and delete the segments that are to remain hidden. Switch to manual mode to control the embroidery sequence. Delete any unnecessary parts. As you can see, the blue and white parts of the rope are one after the other in the sequence, which can make the embroidery process tricky. So, right-click on the white color on the Color Manager and choose Select by Color to select all the white parts. Move the cursor to the first white shape in the sequence, right-click and select Join Together. This will bring all the white parts next to each other in the embroidery sequence. Likewise, move all the blue parts together. Move the edge parts to the back of the design so the rope looks as if it passes behind the letter. You may also want to move some segments behind the anchor ring to give the impression that the rope runs through it. Ungroup the anchor, select the central part, and set Remove Overlaps to Always to reduce the stitches in that area. Refine the anchor further if necessary. Break apart this part to adjust the embroidery sequence. At this point, you may check the embroidery process using Slow Redraw. This gives you the opportunity to fine-tune any details of your design. Make any final corrections. I'll adjust the stitch flow at the anchor crown, and I'll set Remove Overlaps for the anchor ring. Now we're ready to embroider the design. Let's look at the embroidery process step by step. The machine starts by embroidering the parts that appear behind the design. Next comes the placement stitch for the applique monogram. You can then use this stitch as a guideline to position the applique fabric. Place an iron-on stabilizer at the backside of the fabric you're using. Then stitch the tack down. Trim away the excess fabric and continue with a cover satin serial stitch. After that comes the anchor. Now the white parts of the rope, and finally the blue parts of the rope. Your nautical monogram with rope effect is now complete. This technique allows you to create realistic ropes in any shape or form, adding unique textures to your embroidery projects. Do share with us your embroidered designs and don't forget to follow us for more.